This story is called Midnight Metro Stranger. This happened to me 2 to 3 years ago. I was around 23 at the time. I'm a female and I live in Romania. One night, I was coming home from class. Master's classes start after 6 p.m. and end around 10 p.m. It was about 11 p.m. when I started off on my journey. I had to take the subway for about 12 stops. The destination I had to get off at was the end of the line for the subway. At that time, there wouldn't be many people in the subway. I'm a pretty lonely person. All I need is my headset and my music, and I'm good to go. Said and done, I plug in my music. I pick the furthest chair in the subway, away from the only two people that were taking the subway with me at the time. So far, so good. Until I see, with the corner of my eye, a silhouette approaching me and sitting right next to me. He was a man, fairly built, dark hair, wearing glasses, and a black shirt with a black hoodie and a sickening smile. He didn't engage in talking with me, but would just stare at my phone as I would browse through my music. I can hear him breathe heavily. Not like painfully, but still, like he was feeling something very strong. At this point, I felt very uneasy. So I decided to change my seat and go even further behind, trying to avoid him without looking like a freak myself. I don't know to whom. There was just another person with us the whole way. I guess that scared me even more. I decided to pick a new chair, sit down, plug my headset in again, and proceed with the remaining 6.5 stops on my way home. I see the silhouette growing bigger and bigger, and a breeze was running on my skin as I realized the guy is again sitting right next to me, glancing in midair, dead eyes, a big smile, staring right into my phone. I panic. There are still 4 stops to go. I have nowhere to hide. I look after the other person in the subway, trying to sit next to her, thinking that strength comes in numbers. But she's no longer there. I start shaking a bit, but not allowing the creeper to notice me being vulnerable. I stand up, go to the door, and just decide to stand until my stop comes. This way, he won't sit next to me, right? Wrong. He comes straight after me, sits on the chair right near the door, and because he couldn't see my phone, on which he was so focused this far, from that angle, he fixates me right in the soul with his black, dead eyes and says, "Hi, gorgeous. Why are you avoiding me?" At this point, I am freaking out as I look at my phone, trying to call my boyfriend or message him, and he stops me by saying, "I know no one will help you. You will send an SOS, and nobody will get it. Anyway, I know you didn't." That moment, I realized I am cornered. He has been focusing on my phone to see who I was talking to, trying to figure out if I panic, trying to see if I would ask someone for help. He cornered me bad. I had the luck to reach my stop, as I would delay any reaction or ignore him so that he would repeat whatever he wanted to say. I drop off and run for the exit, not looking back. I get out onto the surface and I don't see him anymore. At this moment, I put my phone in my purse and realize I had pepper spray with me all along. My heartbeat comes back to normal, as I know at least I have something to defend myself with, but still a long way to get home. And who knows if he is alone or not. I walk rather fast for maybe 5 minutes from the metro and feel a hand grabbing my wrist and pulling me back. Another hand covering my mouth, disabling me from screaming my lungs out. It was him. I swallowed hard. The same black hoodie, dark hair, and dead eyes. The stalker. He was furious and said, "Running from me? How dare you run away from me? You should be honored that I give you attention." Now, I'm fairly built for a woman, so I guess he thought men don't find me beautiful or something, and should feel blessed a creep like him stalks me and tries to hurt me. But no way. Now my phone is in my bag. I can't call the police. I can't reach for the pepper spray. I panic. I can't punch him. I can't scratch him. I don't have long nails. His hand is still in my mouth, and I just feel so defenseless, and I am feeling lightheaded. I'm just trying to figure out how I can save my life. And at this point, I decide to play along. I use my other hand to brush against his arm, and I mumble, "I'm sorry," while his hand was on my mouth. He took his hand off of my mouth, and I repeated that I'm sorry. I didn't realize he was just flirting, and I try to play it off like I'm cool, calm, and collected. He let his guard down and took his hand off of my wrist. He very calmly asked me for my phone number and an address to drop me off, but I refused, saying I'd rather add him on Facebook, and he agreed. I told him I'd reach for my phone, but instead picked the pepper spray and got him sprayed all over his face. Made sure I covered both his eyes, nose, and mouth, even his ears and hands. I sprayed it everywhere. He instantly got all red, suffocating from the pepper and swelling. I called the police, told them what happened and what I did. They asked me if he was immobilized, and I said yes. But I only had 45 minutes until it wore off. The police arrived pretty quickly, in about 5 minutes, and they could tell that I was shaking like a leaf and saw the man on the ground, swelling up like a pumpkin, gasping for air. He was arrested, and the police told me they had been looking for him for the past week, as they discovered the body of a 24-year-old woman in his apartment. Fairly built, red hair, like me. The woman was his girlfriend, and ever since, he's never gotten back to the apartment. I shudder to think what he wanted with me. I can understand why he targeted me due to the similarities, but stranger in the subway, stalking women at midnight, I never want to meet again.